What is up, everyone? Jason Train Freak here, and I just got to the track, so I apologize. I am a few minutes late. I got held up at Chick-fil-A, so had to come get my food. But let's see who's in the chat. It looks like we've already got a couple of people here that's waiting on my late tail. And we're going to start off with channel member Joe Rader with the Black Rock Central Railroad. Oops. Sorry for the shaky cam. Another channel member, we got Dwight Kerley, or the Kerley Express. So welcome, guys. Dwight's asking if Joe's working on anything today. And Joe responded with, nah, just paying bills, going to the grocery store. He ordered a decoder. Speaking of decoder, it's right here from Train Freak Hobbies this morning, or last night. I think he paid this morning, but he ordered it last night. And so I already had it boxed up, ready to go for him. So, and then we got a couple more people here. We got Samuel Souza here. We got my mom, Kathy Wilson here. Dave BNSF N-Scale is here. So welcome. As far as train traffic goes right now, I'm not seeing anything, and that's because while I was in the drive-through line waiting on my food, I did hear the train horns go by. So we ended up missing one. It is what it is. But we have plenty of time to see if something else comes later on. So with that being said, I hope everyone had a great weekend and the first 2 days of the week. It is officially Hump Day, so halfway to the next weekend. And I've got some plans this weekend, but no major plans. What's for lunch? Grilled chicken nuggets and fries, waffle fries, and of course Chick-fil-A sauce to go with it, and a large sweet tea. But what I have been busy doing over the past weekend and week is I did get the double crossover Fast Tracks paper template. I did get that finished up, for the most part. I still have to gap some of the rails, and I still got to run feeders and then glue wood ties to it. And then after that, it'll be ready to be installed. Hoping to have that done, if not by this weekend, by next weekend, because unless something comes up, supposedly the Flying Crow is going to be flying in, or driving in, next weekend for the Central Arkansas Train Show in Conway, Arkansas. So far my day's going pretty good. Soon as I leave lunch here, I will be on the road headed to one of my satellite locations. I'll be there all afternoon, and by the time I get done there, I get to go heading straight home. So can't complain. And call in, I'm gonna go with Wykes. Hopefully I did not butcher that last name. So if I got it right, please let me know. If I didn't get it right, try to throw some pronunciation thing up there so I can get it right. But Colin, welcome. But what I worked on over the weekend was not on the layout per se. Junior needed a desk for school, and I had a desk in there, and it was great for as far as like, me being able to do, live streams, like when I was doing Sidetrack Sunday, for example, in the train room at the computer. But I wanted something better. I wanted something that would allow me not to just use that desk for a computer for live streaming, but also for a workbench. So I gave Junior the desk. Otherwise, I was going to have to go buy one. And I spent $130 at Home Depot in materials and built my own desk. Built it to the height that I wanted it because I wanted it a little lower so that way I could work over it. Also put it a little lower under the level lower staging so I could, access the room under it. It wasn't wasted space. The desk that I had before only had like that much room below staging. Now I've got like that much room. So Junior helped me build it. The dimensions is 28 inches high. So I dropped it 2 inches from the previous desk, which is roughly the same level as what the keyboard tray was. So, I mean, that's perfect for me. 30 inches deep and 75 inches wide. So, it's going to work out perfectly. Nice. Spot on. So, it is Colin Wykes. So, there you go. So that's what I worked on over the weekend, and then mainly Sunday. Saturday, I kind of didn't do anything in the training room. I had to take a day off. Me and the wife had a date that Saturday, so went and caught the movie Twisters. Highly recommend, even though it's not train related. I highly recommend. The closest thing that is train related to it is a streetcar. So it does have a streetcar in it. Streetcar trolley, same thing. So that was pretty cool that it did at least include that. It didn't have a train in it, but it did have a streetcar. So I highly recommend, if you have not seen that movie, you should go check it out. It's pretty good. It's almost, if not better. Like, there were some things I liked about the original Twister movie better, but there's some things in Twisters I like better than the original. So, yes, it's Twisters with an S. There's a Twister that came out in the 90s, and then Twisters that came out this year. So, and neither movie is related. So if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to spoil anything. There are some Easter eggs in there. So the only thing I would spoil is, in the movie Twister, you had Dorothy, which was the machine. They had 4 of them. In the opening of this movie, like within the first 5 minutes, you do see Dorothy 5, but you don't ever see Dorothy again. So that's the only spoiler I'm giving you. Joe, you're going to have to go and see if you want to see any flying cows. And Steve doesn't need the movie. He gets to live it, even though the movie takes place in his back door or backyard. So, Steve, how close is El Reno to you? Because I know it's fairly close. So the movie does part of the movie takes place. So, like I said, no major spoilers. But Joe, there's no flying cows, but there is cows in the movie. So, flying crows? No, he's down in Longview. That's the only place I know where there's a flying crow. How's it going, Martin? Welcome. So, see, Steve, it's, the movie partially takes place in your backyard. You can go and see how accurate, if they actually filmed in El Reno, which I don't know if they did or didn't, or how well Hollywood made El Reno look, if they got it spot on or didn't. So, something to go look at. We have a headlight. So we do have a train coming. Track 2. So we do have one en route. So, yay! because I've kind of struck out the last few times, and I was wondering if we were going to strike out today, considering that while I was in the drive-thru at Chick-fil-A, I heard one going by. So, but anyways, Steve, that passenger car looking pretty dang good, man. Looking pretty good. So Steve had one pass over the house when we lived here in the 90s. The closest I've gotten to one was last year, March 31st of last year. That's the one that hit Little Rock, and it made its way up to, it hit some houses about a mile and a half due south of my house. So the closest I've ever been to one is about a mile and a half. And that's still too close for comfort. Considering that the path, the width was wider than a mile. So yeah, that's still too close for comfort. I remember hail hitting the house, and I remember we did have some debris in the yard, like insulation, sheetrock. Nothing like, no major like big debris like lumber or anything like that. Just small stuff that was up in the air for a while. Yeah, that was pretty wild. Steve's wife saw 4 tornadoes in one day back then. So there you go. It's just been the crazy year of tornadoes this year here and last year. I want to say, wasn't it this year that a tornado hit a train head on and it busted out all the windows in the locomotive? I want to say that was this year. So, all right, let me get the camera switched over so that way we don't lose this here train. And let's do that. All right, here we go. Cows and crows in the yard. So it should be here in a minute or two, unless he's slowing down. Hopefully he ain't slowing down. The last train that did come through did come on track 1, because when I pulled in, I did see a yellow signal on main 1. Main 1 signal is dark, so I know he's on main 2. But he's en route. He's coming. So I'll continue to talk just for a little bit until he gets here. I'm just hoping he's not slowing down. That would stink. But Martin, you never seen a flying crow? Well, I can tell you the flying crow has a name. His name's Robert. Steve saying not many here thus far this year. Well, Steve, what they're saying is that Tornado Alley is actually shifted east of what the original Tornado Alley was known. Has shifted east and more north. So, now you have Arkansas, Missouri, Iowa. You still got parts of Nebraska and Kansas and Illinois and Minnesota. I mean, it just seems like the tornadoes are getting worse, more east and north than Oklahoma, years past. Well, I'm thinking our train has stopped. So I'm going to go ahead and flip it back around. And I'm going to crack the window so that way I can hear the dong dong dongs. Because there ain't no more ding dings because I got the last one. He is either creeping or he has stopped. So, and I don't have my scanner with me to hear if they've had any trouble. Maybe a Hot Wheel or something. Who knows? Martin says he has seen a flying buffalo in a commercial. There you go. And we got Kyle Stevens here. What's going on, Kyle? So Yeah, I mean, I could try to put the camera around. I just won't be able to zoom in, so I don't know if you're going to be able to see his headlights or not. Yeah, there you go, Steve. I mean, it just seems like Arkansas is just getting more, hit. We're seeing more tornadoes in the past few years than we have the past couple of decades before. Not saying that, we don't get them, but, last year Little Rock got tore up pretty bad. This year, Hot Springs and Hot Springs Village both got hit. Rogers, up in the northwest part of the state, got hit. So, and then some other places too. But yeah, I mean, like I said, too close for comfort for me, man. Kyle, man, I'm doing pretty dang good. Just sitting here at the tracks, and our train has stopped. That sucks. No telling how long he's going to be sitting there because I don't know if he's got a red signal, green signal, or what. I have no clue. Luck of the draw, I guess. I mean, we just missed one. I missed one right before getting, going live, like just a few minutes before I was in the drive. And it looks like, oh no, is he starting to move? Well, his headlight just went dim and then bright and then dim and bright. I have no clue, man. Yeah, stop trains equals no bueno. No bueno in, I guess that would be what? Spanish? French would be très mal. Very bad. Let's see. Willow Creek Industrial Spur, welcome. And we got Bernard C in the house as well. What's going on, Bernard? C. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing. Well, I've got the window cracked, so if he starts creeping this way, the crossing gates go down, I'll be able to get the camera flipped, because it's going to take him a while to get started, depending on how big he is. So, Spanglish. There you go. Spanglish. But yeah, so I got the workbench done. Got it built. I got the bottom staging mounted back on. I've got the lighting all wired back up. I think I'm going to be a lot happier with my setup. I think it's going to be a lot better. So future projects that I'm trying to get to before the Crow makes it to my place, not this weekend, but next weekend, is I need to get the, where I dirted in the rails, plastered in the rails, I need to get that painted and get the rails clean, because I know I promised him that we would do an op session while he's down. And I promised him that we would go live. So that's project number one. Project number two is I want to get that double crossover in, so that way I can take the old one out. I've got someone who says he wants to buy it, but if he doesn't commit, then I'm going to try to sell it at the train show. And if it doesn't sell, which what I'll do at the train show is I'm going to do like last year. I will go up on that Friday and I will make a video of everything I have. And I might try to go live, but I will show everything that's on the table and give y'all the opportunity to claim stuff before anybody else. Hey, we got another channel member in the house. We got MR6017, Mr. 6017. That is my buddy Marcus, who I hope to see at the train show. Oh, he's closer. I can now tell you that's a Union Pacific locomotive. But I still can't, I can't tell if he's moving or not. I mean, guys, I'm looking like head on at the guy. I believe he is starting to move. Either that or he's creeping up closer to the grade crossing before he triggers the crossing gate. But I see heat coming from the top of his locomotive, so I'm assuming he's probably putting it back in notch. Ah, that's what I. Oh, here, hold on. I hit the wrong one. There we go. That's what I like to hear or like to see. Nope, don't need any binoculars. That was not a train horn if you heard that. Yeah, he's moving up. And it looks like a mixed freight too. Alright, there goes the crossing gates. I'm starting to hear it now. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and flip y'all back over. Probably gonna take him a minute or two, but he is going to make his way here. And now a car has got in between me and the train. So now I can't really tell you much, but he's coming. He's blowing his horn. So he will be coming in from the right side of your screen, going left. That is going to be a northbound direction. And it is Marcus's favorite railroad. The Union Pacific. Service that will make you cry. Ooh, y'all get a treat. This one's got several locomotives on it. Yeah, literally. Joe, I think this is actually slower than Jack speed. This would be like speed step 1 on your throttle. I don't know if he's stopping or what. He's stopping. Well, dang, I wish you could see this. Here, I'm going to spin the camera because I want you to see this other locomotive. Oh, you can't really see it well. Ah. Well, I tried. I can't tell. That looks like maybe an SD40, SD35. So One, two, three, four. There's 5 locomotives, but I think the 5th one is dead in tow. I'm not sure why he stopped again. It's kind of odd. So I'm wondering if he'll back up. But it is a mixed freight. All right, so y'all get ready for some shaky cam, because I'm gonna try to show you the last locomotive. There it is, right there. It doesn't say what that locomotive type is on the side of the cab like most of the locomotives do. Actually, no, I can't see it. It's just really hard to see. I'm thinking it's a SD40-2. But this one actually has strobes on the top. And it's got rear ditch lights. Locomotive number is UP1887, 1887. But I can tell you that it does have rear ditch lights on it, and it does have flashing beacons, even though the beacons are not flashing. So that I can't tell. All right. Well, I've never had a train like this just stop right in front of me. How about that? So y'all get to stare at a flag all day. The next closest crossover is about probably about 3-4 miles up the track. No, let me think about that again. 5 miles up the track. Yeah, the next crossover is 5 miles up the track. So I wonder why he's got 2 grade crossings blocked. And I don't see anybody walking along the train either. So, very nice, Bernard. Just saying 1963. Well, that would be 1983. So the Western Pacific Heritage is 1983. I believe it's 1983. I don't think they have a 1963. I mean, that's a heritage. I believe it's 83. That's actually, out of all of the UP heritages, that one's probably one of my favorite ones. I don't know how well y'all can see this, but I see where they put tape on a lot of these cabinets, doors along the back where like the radiator is. It looks just like painter's tape. I guess to see if anybody has tampered with the locomotive. So Dwight, I've been debating if I want to go see it again or not. It's not coming on the this route here, like it came through the last time. It's going to be coming down the old Cotton Belt route. So, Mom, if you're still in here, Big Boy will be coming through Pine Bluff. I don't know. I was thinking about maybe going to the town of Wiener. since most of y'all in the chat, since most of the chat that follows my modeling was that I did the town of Wiener on the layout. So I'm thinking about maybe going to the town of Wiener and catching it there. And he's putting out a lot of heat out of that front unit. I also thought about maybe driving down to Redfield and catching it going under the overpass there. Thought that might be a pretty cool place to catch a steam train, is not to the side but over it. Mom, when I get the exact dates, I'll let you know. So, Kyle, unfortunately, the guy who owned RailroadPicturesArchives.net passed away, and now that the bill for that site has not been paid, and no one has a way to try to claim that site, we're going to end up losing that site altogether. If you go to the dieselshop.us, you can find out Union Pacific's roster, and it will tell you where, every locomotive, what railroad they acquired that locomotive from, so forth and so forth. I believe it's an SD40-2. That's what I believe. So my understanding as far as how the 4014 is coming through the state, it will be coming out of Dexter, Missouri on the Jonesboro sub. It'll come through Jonesboro, Arkansas, which is where it crosses the BNSF, which is the old Frisco. That's the Thayer sub. Come down to Pine Bluff, go through Pine Bluff Yard, through the town of Pine Bluff, and then it's going to take the White Bluff sub up to North Little Rock, or Little Rock to North Little Rock. And it will stay overnight in North Little Rock, and then it will leave out, come back down the White Bluff sub down to Pine Bluff, and cut over on the Pine Bluff sub and head towards Texarkana. Now, once it gets to Texarkana, I have no clue which way it will go. So, that'd be pretty cool, Dwight. I'm trying to remember, your son doesn't live too far from me. But if he's going to want to go see it, he's going to either have to drive down to North Little Rock or he's going to have to go to the eastern part of the state. Okay, so Martin, the Dash 8 would have been retired. This locomotive here, I mean, I'm looking right at it. It says 1887. That doesn't mean that was the original number. So the original 1887 was a Dash 8 that has been retired. Like I said, the dieselshop.us, and I believe it's /up.html. If you go to that website there, that should pull up UP's locomotive roster. Which the diesel shop is pretty current on their stuff. Hey, Sean Powell, how's it going? And Grandpa Rails, welcome. CPKC, welcome. I am doing pretty good. And yourself? I won't be able to stay on much longer, so I guess catching a train and having it stop in front of you is better than no train at all, right? I just don't know why they stopped to block 2 out of the 4 grade crossings here in town. Just makes no sense to me. Sean, I'm doing pretty good. Can't complain. But for those just getting here, there's the beginning of the train just right there. So it literally just stopped right in front of us. And that's the locomotive that we were talking about right there. Maybe, let me see if I've got another camera that might do it closer. No, that made it further away. So, but that is UP 1887. And then right after it, it's just all mixed freight. So, all right. Nope, not stuck. I mean, the train might be stuck. Today would have been the perfect day for me to bring my scanner, but I left it at home. I hardly ever bring it. I know if I go out like rail fanning, like doing some serious rail fanning, then yeah, I'll definitely have scanners with me. But I haven't seen like any railroad crew on the ground or anything like that, so I have no clue as to why he has stopped. No reason at all. And I hear his air building, but you know, he still has his brake supplied. I don't know if maybe he's having a time trying to get the train line built back up, the airline and the train. I don't know if he's got any more diesels that are down, because the only diesel I'm seeing heat coming from the radiators is the front unit. So they're blocking 2 crossings, Dwight. Two crossings. No, it wasn't an emergency situation because he stopped before he got to the first grade crossing, like a good bit back, about half a mile. And then he creeped slowly in like Jack speed. So if it was an emergency situation, it would have been further back where he stopped the first time. And then I guess he tried pulling forward. But like I said, I'm only seeing heat dissipating from only one of the locomotives. And it appears that he's got 3 locomotives powered, because the one right in front of us, this one here, doesn't have the step lights on. This one does, so you can see the step light like right above my finger. But this one here doesn't have step lights on. And then, of course, I'm saying it's a SD40-2 doesn't have step lights on either. So he's definitely have 3 that is running power. So, well, guys, I hate to do this, but it is that time. I must go. I've got an hour drive ahead of me to the next location, and so because I have a meeting to be at. Bernard, not that I can see. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the camera around. I don't see him leaving anytime soon, and it is what it is, right? So with that being said, hey, better than nothing. You got to see a few locomotives. But yeah, I'll try to do this again either tomorrow. Friday, I'm going to try to be with Steve on Steve Childers' live stream Friday at, what is that, 11:30 Eastern? 10:30 my time. So if you're not subscribed to Steve Childers, make sure you go, hit his channel up. He's in the chat. So other than that, y'all have a great one out there. We'll see y'all next time. Be safe. Happy railroading.